So why is stigma important? Well, stigma, being this negative attitude or belief towards a person with a mental illness or a mental health problem, is going to influence a person's decision to access mental health services. It is also going to determine whether a person discloses that they are struggling or in need of support. And this is very concerning because if a person is in need of support and they don't believe that help will be beneficial, or they are feeling guilty or shameful about telling someone, then they are unlikely to get the treatment and support that they need. And we know based on research looking at stigma among US veterinarians that stigma is more common amongst those veterinarians who are experiencing serious psychological distress, depression, or thoughts of suicide. Now, when we think about the different forms of stigma, I think it's important to recognize that stigma can come in many different forms, but the forms that we see most common are self-stigma and public stigma. So self-stigma is this perception that we shouldn't feel this way, that this isn't something that we need to talk about or share. So there was a recent study that was published last year on stigma among veterinary medical students. And some of the quotes that were pulled from that survey had words such as, "I would feel ashamed that I could not help myself," feeling that talking about it isn't going to change anything. Most of us just accept that it's going to be hard and think that we just have to feel miserable. So these are all examples of how a stigma can sound. This idea that it's not okay to feel this way and that I should just be able to power through it. Public stigma is a little bit different. So public stigma is more in reference to the culture norms or what society would believe. And so when they looked at the statements that were shared by veterinary medical students in that survey, some of the sentiments that reflected public stigma included, "How would I be viewed by my mentors and those I look up to in the profession?" Or, "Students who need time off are stigmatized as slackers." Or, "I don't want people to ever know that maybe I'm not strong enough to deal with the anxiety or stress of vet school." So again, there's this outward facing view that, we don't want to tell others that this is what we're experiencing because we're concerned about how we would be viewed by them.